Hello and welcome to the Philippines. This video is about bus terminals in general. I'm going to show you a specific terminal. Walking over towards Parkmall, where there is a bus terminal. This is Harrison Park. I think they've got one up by IT Park, and this is just a few steps away from Parkmall, and not very far from Chung Hua Hospital, Mandawi. Not very far from UC Medical Center, Mandawi. Cebu Doctors University, I think, is over in this area. Anyway, we've got a mall, and we've got across the street. Um, I think that's a lechon type place over there, and across from Park Mall, we've got a place called Times Square. They've got a number of bars and restaurants at. I've done videos there. And anyway, we're going to go up here, take a look, walk around the bus terminal, so you get a little bit of an idea. And they will vary where they're located by the town or city that you're in. Obviously, some are on the outskirts, some are right in the city. They moved Cebu City, the North Bus Terminal. They moved it a year or two ago, and they moved it into just across the street from. In fact, I think it's on the property owned by SM Mall, and lots of buses come in there. And here is a relatively new bus terminal. I think they started using it during the lockdowns, I think. Buses coming in here when there was little to no transportation. And it's turned into a fairly large. Jeepneys come in here on the left. You see the jeepneys, and the buses line up kind of on the right side here. And a lot of these vehicles will go pretty much to the same place, but like rush hours are. There aren't enough. There's not enough transportation. There's not enough road for all the vehicles during rush hour. So people line up, long lines, and I've got a couple of videos about that, I think. And they just wait, and they pack these things in and go from there. And then these buses go over, they return back with some more people probably, and pick up some more people. So some of these people have to wait an hour or longer to get a ride. This is a 360-degree video with my Insta360 at X3. If you haven't figured out so far, if you have a smartphone, you can just turn your phone around, up and down, different directions, and it will give you the views in front, beside, and behind me, up and down. And if you're on a computer or tablet, you can use a touchscreen, or you can use, there should be a little icon up in the upper left-hand corner that you can scroll around. If you're on a smart TV, different people have told me they've had different experiences. Some people say they have a bad quality. A lot of people say they have very good quality. This is a 5.7K video, but it's spread over 360 degrees. So you're not getting that 5.7K video at each location like this. A lot of times it has to do with the device you're watching it on. If your device doesn't have enough RAM memory, if you can't handle the 5K, that's a huge file. So you might go down into settings in YouTube, and a lot of times they will feed it to you on a 240 or 480 feed, 360 feed, or something like that. Bump the quality up on the device that you're watching it on, and that should make a difference. Anyway, yeah, right next to in fact, the bus terminal, they use the big parking area of the mall, and I kind of like this mall. It's most malls in the Philippines have two things that American malls usually don't have. Is they've got a big grocery store and they've got a hardware store. And to my knowledge, I don't ever remember seeing hardware stores in mall in the USA, where I was anyway, in animal wellness place and animal store there. Guys clipping a dog in there. I'm seeing more and more people with pets, and I think that happened all over the world during the government lockdowns. People were lonely and they purchased pets. Generally, these bus terminals, sometimes you buy a ticket in advance at a ticket counter, but a lot of them you don't buy it until you get on that bus. And you've got air-conditioned buses and non-air-conditioned buses, so be aware of what you're getting on. And then that ticket guy will come around as you're traveling and where are you going, sir? And he'll punch some tickets and hand it to you, tell you how much it is. But you can travel very, very cheaply by bus. You know, for for 200, 300, 400 pesos, you know, you can ride for several hours. You know, uh, 4, 6, $8, something like that. This is the area they've got outside seating, and a lot of these restaurants have a little bit of inside seating as well. You can seat to the right, but a lot of people enjoy. I mean, it's this, if I remember right, this was a very mild evening, very enjoyable to be outside, which it often is here in the Philippines. Just depends on what your tolerance is for a little bit of heat and a little bit of more humidity than what you would expect. I came from the desert of Arizona and Nevada, but I adapted within 6 months. I adapted pretty well to the humidity here. And this mall, I think it's a two-story. Up on the second story, they've got some unique stores. I've done a video here years past. They had kind of a gym type area up there. They had trampolines. They had like a paintball type place competition. I don't know if they still have that or not. But you'll find various malls with various activities. You can eat relatively cheap here unless you're going to go out for USDA steaks and that type of thing, and the higher end foods. But yeah, you can eat. I've met expats who say they never cook anything. They eat every meal out, and just depends upon your choices in eating. You can eat pretty inexpensively. Not always the healthiest way to do it, but that is available if that's what you want to do. Just for your information, this whole area is kind of undergoing you know what you call it, revitalization or whatever. Just straight ahead, a couple of blocks this direction, I'm walking, is Mandani Bay, a huge new multi-building development, condominiums, hotels, commercial buildings. Just over to the left of that is the Bai Hotel. I think it's the largest hotel, number room wise, over 600 rooms outside of Metro Manila. And they put on a pretty good buffet over there. I've been over their buffet with an expat group a number of times. Just across the street, um, they are an old convention center that was damaged in a 2013 earthquake and typhoon. Happened both same year. I think that is being demolished, and they're going to build a new hotel casino type place over there. So this whole area is being uh, revitalized, you might say. And I believe that is the Save More. Save More is part of, is that SM? SM brand, I think. That is SM brand, I believe. One of their brands, their grocery stores. And anyway, yeah, this you can see this food court type area goes the long length of this mall. And if you travel around the Philippines very much, you will find that the different areas have different transportation modes available. Dumaguete, which is very popular with the expats, for instance, I believe they still don't have any taxis over there. So if you're going to travel around a bit, you're going to take a tricycle or a jeepney. I believe those are or a bus. They have a bus terminal there, and you can get on a bus in Dumaguete, and there's water between Dumaguete and Cebu. That bus will take you to the what do you call it, pier. There are a number of piers in South Cebu, for instance, and they will take you there. You will get off the bus. The bus will drive on to the ferry, and you will get onto the ferry. And when it lands in South Cebu, you will get back on the bus, and the bus will take you on up the road if you're going to Cebu City or another island area on a different side, Molbol or Bentayan Island, those types of things. Just be sure to tell the bus driver and or ask other people where you should get off, because it can be a little confusing. I found that. I don't know where I'm at. So the first several times I'm taking the bus, and I can bring up my map app on my phone and kind of know, but I'm not sure where to get off different places. And then a lot of times, for instance, if you go to Molbol over on the west side of Cebu Island, if you want to go to the resorts, then you need to get a tricycle. Pretty much, they have a few taxis that roam around that area, but usually they are there because I think they have brought over tourists from Cebu City, and that's why they're there, and they're waiting possibly to pick somebody up, take them back to Cebu City. But generally, you're going to get a tricycle over there, or if you're going further north or south, you're going to get a jeepney or another bus, probably. This 2 year plus government crisis and lockdowns really messed up transportation, as you might conclude. The ferry companies, they pretty much shut down, except for those who were transporting food to the different islands. The buses pretty much all shut down. Pretty much there was no transportation. People had to walk. If they had a job, they had to walk to work. There wasn't enough. The little public transportation there was, a lot of people had to walk for hours to work. And, here, over 3 years later, that system still is not fully back in place, recovered. And during the recent holidays, Christmas and New Year's, there was a big lack of ferry seats available. A relative of a friend of mine coming from Bohol over to Cebu, the day that they wanted to travel, all the seats were sold. There were no seats available on the ferries that she wanted to take. And she had to wait, I think, about a week, and she finally got, but she even had to pay business class, which was much more expensive than tourist class. So, in ending, let me just say that the ticketing system will vary by area as well. You can go to these terminals and you can buy a ticket. There was once I tried to buy a ticket one day in advance, and they said, no, you have to come back tomorrow to buy it. You can't buy it a day in advance. And so that's what I did. And there are ticketing agents in malls and on various streets in different towns and cities. My advice is to go to a ticketing agent, a legitimate one, and buy your ticket there. And buy it in advance if you're pretty sure you aren't going to have any change in plans. Relatively inexpensive, depends on where you're going, 500 to 1,000 pesos. A little more if you're getting a little cabin for a number of different people. Anyway, Times Square across the street over there, and I've done a number of videos over there. So anyway, that's about it for now. Thanks for coming along. Stay safe and safe travels.